Out on Netflix today is Carry On, new movie starring our guest. Of course, he is one of my favorite actors and from my favorite show where he played a DEA agent, Hank Schrader, in Breaking Bad. He is the one and only Dean Norris, star of the new movie Carry on Netflix today. Dean, good morning, buddy. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm doing great, man. How you doing?
I'm doing good. First of all, I want to say thank you, along with the cast of, again, Breaking Bad. It's the greatest TV show ever made. I was a fan of like Lost and so many other shows, Walking Dead. But when I found Breaking Bad, honestly, man, I've watched it beginning to end, I think 4 times now. And it is just a brilliant show. And thank you for creating such a brilliant and being part of a brilliant character in Hank Schrader.
Yeah, it was a special time, man. No doubt about it. It was. We would get those scripts every week and go, "Holy,
Right.
man, we get to do this," And they were just, there was never a bad one. It was such a great people to work with. So a very special time that we had back there.
Again, not a bad episode, but obviously you had so many memories and so many moments on that show, beginning to end. What's the moment for you, the favorite Hank Schrader moment for Dean Norris on that show?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not the flashy ones, but it's in a flashy scene. It's right before the scene he talks to his wife when he says he doesn't think he's can be a cop anymore.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on the bed with her, and it was just for me. I read that scene, I read that whole speech. I was like, oh man, he just nailed it. This big blowhard kind of tough guy has to admit to himself that he doesn't think he can do it, and that always touches me. And then of course it leads into the scene where the assassin,
yeah,
Mexican assassin, tried to chop my neck off. But
man, it's like I said, for me, it's when you're putting the puzzle pieces together in the garage. And it all dawns on you. You don't want to believe it, but when the pieces all fall into place in that moment of like, it's right under your nose the entire time. I don't want to spoil it, but heck, it's Breaking Bad. Everybody's seen it. So, but again, I want just a brilliant show, and going from the world of a DEA agent in that world to the world of a TSA agent. And I think it's going to be an absolutely amazing movie coming out tomorrow, Friday on Netflix, Friday the 13th. Movie called Carry On, with a couple of folks we may have heard of, Taron Egerton, and of course Jason Bateman and yourself. A new spin on the world of a TSA agent, which I think is an underappreciated world for sure, and it's a thriller for the holidays.
Yeah, it's really good, man. We saw it at the premiere, and I think it's going to be another one of those kind of Die Hard-esque Christmas classics, because it doesn't take itself too. I mean, it's quite a thriller, and it's thrilling. I mean, really, it's great action scenes and all kinds of stuff. But it also has some moments of levity and doesn't take itself too seriously. So you have that kind of Die Hard feel to it, And I think it's going to be. I don't know. I hope people love it, because I did. I thought it was great.
It's a great movie. Like I said, Friday the 13th on Netflix. You can watch it there, of course. How do you prepare in your acting career? So many parts you've been in, TV, movies, across the board. How do you hit like a show like Breaking Bad, Under the Dome, anything like that, where it's an episodic show versus a movie? How do you prepare as an actor or attack that role differently?
Well, on the series, obviously, you have a longer history with the characters, so you have more of a idea of what they're all about and what their motivations are. In a movie, you got a much shorter kind of, snapshot of time. And so I think it's important, at least for me, to kind of create more of a backstory for myself in my own mind, because it's not there on the page, because there's only 2 hours, Yeah. So that's really the difference for me between those two things.
What'd you learn about the TSA world kind of going into this character? Obviously, I bet you picked up a lot, like I said, during Breaking Bad, of how a DEA agent's life really is. What did you learn about this TSA world, which, again, people just doing their jobs, man? I mean, we all get frustrated at the airport, but during the holidays especially, people working in customer service, TSA, those lines of work, they're just putting food on the table, right?
Yeah, and it's funny, because that's what my first speech in the movie is all about. It's like, all right, here comes the zoo. Just keep them moving. Don't engage. don't engage. Just keep them going because you get a lot of jerk offs coming through those lines, and I'm sure the real TSA sees them. That's why they've got such a jaded attitude while they're standing there. 'Cause they're expecting everybody to be an a-hole, and it's
Yeah.
And anyway, so we had TSA guys on the spot. I should have known this, but I was surprised they don't carry weapons. So they're just there to kind of facilitate and do the security, but they would have to call somebody if there was actually a problem.
Wow. It's called Carry On. The movie is out tomorrow on Netflix. Of course, Dean Norris in it as well with Taron Egerton and, of course, Jason Bateman. Is this the first time you've had a chance to work with them? Jason Bateman, obviously been around for a while. Ozark, another great television show out there. Was it your first chance to work with them and meet them on this movie?
It was. I had not worked with Jason Bateman. I think Taron kind of asked a bit about for me because he was a big Breaking Bad fan.
Yeah.
So when I met him on the set, we chit chat a lot about that. Had a couple dinners and a couple drinks here and there. And so he was. I think he might have said, "Hey, can we get Dean Norris for this role?" He did.
Well, there you go. It's across the board, man. What's the next project for you now, man? After, of course, everybody's going to be watching Carry On, then they're going to go right back into Breaking Bad or any of the other great work. But what's next, man? What's next for you now with the holidays upon us and stuff?
Yeah, I got another movie coming out on Netflix called 6888. It's a World War II movie, and that should be coming out, I think, in a couple weeks from Friday. And then I'm doing Law and Order: Organized Crime. That's the 5th season, so I'm out there. I'm just in New York. I've got one more episode left to do before Christmas, and I think that'll all come out on in April on Peacock.
Very cool, man. Can I get some Schrader Brow for the holidays still? Is it available? Can I grab it anywhere?
I got a fresh batch coming in tomorrow, man.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Dean, it is an honor. Honestly, man, seriously, I'm such a fan. Thank you so much for the time. I can't watch Carry On Netflix, Friday the 13th. It drops there. And, of course, so much more. Thank you and everybody across the board there with Breaking Bad. Most brilliant television show ever made. And it would not have happened without your skill and wit and humor and passion that you put into that role, along with the drive and determination, too, man. Thank you so much for what you bring us, and continue best of luck, my friend.
All right, man. Thank you very much.